Live from Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News celebrates 75 years.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for ABC4 News at 5. I'm Glenn Mills.
Glenn, yes, we are live in Park City, anchoring out in the streets where you see the beautiful snow falling right now as I'm speaking. Let me just step out of the way. This is so fun to be here in Park City during such an important event of the Sundance Film Festival, a global event where people really do gather from all across the world to view these films, and it's back in person for the first time in years. Many people telling me today how excited that they are to be back. Now we are going to have the latest coverage of the cinematic event of this year, we're now day 2 of the event. We'll go for another 10 days. But first, let's send it back to you, Glenn, for a look at the local stories.
All right, thanks so much, Emily. We will be checking back in with you soon. Tonight, we do begin, though, with new developments in the legislature. Lawmakers wasting no time getting right to work in week 1. Day 4 seeing a number of controversial bills moving forward. House Bill 215 now headed to the Senate. An adopted version of the bill passing out of the House today on a vote of 54-20. Now, if it clears the Senate and the governor's desk, parents will be allotted state funding to send their kids to private school. And teachers will see salary increases of up to $6,000.
I will say, as a teacher, it does feel like one of the largest bribes.
The purpose of this program is to refocus on student learning and student empowerment, and that will help our teachers.
Democrats proposing changes to separate the raise from the school voucher, but those attempts failing.
I cannot tell you how many nights I stayed up wishing I wasn't trans, contemplating whether suicide was better than continuing to live as a trans person. I would not be alive if I had not been able to transition, and I am lucky that my attempts to take my life before that time failed.
All right, what we just heard was a statement from Senator Nate Bluin's transgender intern. Senator Bluin quoting intern Ari before he voted no on Senate Bill 16. Now today, this bill banning gender-affirming care and puberty blockers for transgender kids and teenagers, along with 2 other legislating transgender youth bills clearing the Senate as well. Those bills requiring schools to tell parents if their student uses another name or pronoun in the classroom, and outlaws changes to birth certificates before the age of 18. In a health alert tonight, a bill heading into the legislative session could lower the burden of paying for life-saving drugs on patients with chronic illness, including cancer. Coalition of patients, parents of patients, and doctors on Capitol Hill talking about what they call a deceptive practice in healthcare. It's called a copay accumulator, and it stops drug manufacturers' copay assistance coupons from counting towards out-of-pocket cost obligations. A proposed bill would ban this program.
Accumulator adjustment programs may make patients less likely to take their medication at the appropriate time and may worsen outcomes.
Bill supporters saying this insurance practice threatens health and even lives. Senator Kurt Bramble is set to introduce this bill during the legislative session. Now to Park City. Here's a live look at Main Street, the heart of festivities for the 2023 Sundance Film Festival. And as you can see, this much anticipated return to Utah's mountains after years online, well, it's going to be bringing in lots of visitors. Tonight, we have team coverage of the festival. My co-anchor Emily Flores speaking to creatives premiering their work and making headlines, and ABC4's Sarah Murphy catching up with businesses hoping to attract patrons after 2 years without a regular crowd. But we do begin with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy. She's tracking the very latest weather for festival goers from right outside. So Alana, what do we need to know before heading up there?
Hi, Glenn. I miss you. You need to know it's cold, really cold. You want to layer up because those temperatures are chilly. I'm standing on the Town Lift actual ski run. That's one of the greatest things about Park City. You could ski and then head out to Main Street all in the same afternoon. It's absolutely fantastic. The sun has been dancing just up in the sky today. A little bit of cloud cover moving in for this live shot, but all in all, pretty nice conditions with those clear skies. But when you think nice, you think of the Salt Lake Valley. Take a look of this live camera. Goodness gracious, it's a beautiful day. It's just chilly. That northerly flow keeping those temperatures down. As I mentioned, Park City's cold. We're sitting in the low 20s right now up in Summit County. It doesn't seem to bother anyone. The hustle and bustle of Main Street is as loud and warm as ever. In the valley, we are seeing those temperatures below average as well. Typically this time of year, Salt Lake is in the upper 30s. We're in the mid 30s right now. Look at Logan, cold in the 20s. We also know it's freezing in Utah County and below average down there in St. George. We have an exiting storm system that's moving over to the east. On the satellite, you'll be able to kind of notice where that moisture is just lingering. It's kept some storms churning in the southern half of the state and in eastern Utah, but that activity is going to dwindle as we head into tonight. And the only thing we're going to be left with are those frigid conditions. If you are heading up to Summit County, be prepared for the chance of some slick conditions. With really cold temperatures staying below freezing, anything that melts during the day could easily ice over, so that's something to keep in mind. But come on up and bring your inner warmth, because you're not going to get it on the outside. Am I right, Emily Flores? I know you're in those layers.
I am in those layers, Alana, and I could use a few more layers. Some of these moments, my fingers are pretty cold, but we do have a fire pit nearby that I have gone between hits and made sure I warmed up a little bit. But Alana, it's so fun to be here in Park City. Thousands of people coming here to Park City to take part in Sundance Film Festival. Some people lucky enough to actually view films, but others taking part in panels or even just people watching for these several days here in Park City. And we had the honor today to attend the film premiere of Still, a Michael J. Fox movie. Now, I do have to say, it was a complete honor to be there. When Michael J. Fox entered the Eccles Theater today, from the production crew that all worked with him, there was such a tangible feeling of respect, love, admiration. It was a powerful moment leading into a powerful message about Parkinson's disease. It was an energetic entrance into his Sundance stretch, all for the premiere of his film Still, a documentary telling the improbable tale of Michael J. Fox's rise to stardom and then the unexpected diagnosis. Director Davis Guggenheim summarizes it best.
This movie is not about Parkinson's. It's really about a short kid from Canada who dropped out of high school to try to become a big movie star, and it actually happens. And then when it happens, life sends him this thunderbolt.
That thunderbolt, Parkinson's disease. As a young Hollywood star in the 80s, Michael J. Fox was diagnosed at age 29.
And so what do you do with that? You know, at first he was very ill-equipped. And at first he did some of the wrong things before he did the right things. It's about how he personally as a human dealt with adversity. And that's something that I think that's what the movie's about, is how we all deal with adversity.
But as heavy as that sounds, the film director, producers, composer, and editor all say, because Michael J. Fox is who he is, the film is undeniably fun.
The interviews with him are just hysterically funny.
We struggled in the edit before we interviewed him to make the film work. And once he sat down and he just rolled off his story, he was incredible. Like, he's one of the funniest people I've ever met, and he's witty, and most importantly, he was honest.
Intimate and honest, the film explores what happens when an incurable optimist confronts an incurable disease, bringing perspective and inspiration to those with or without insight into the complex, debilitating disease.
Everyone should see it now, later. You know, when it's on Apple, when it has a theatrical release. Yeah, I think, you know, if you're a fan of Michael. Or not, or you don't know anything about him, whatever it is, there is such a great story of humanity and tenacity and persistence and love that I don't care who you are, it's going to be, I think you should see it. I think you're going to like it.
All right, I'm back here live. Sundance Film Festival is not just a way for filmmakers to make their mark. It also offers a huge, as you can imagine, opportunity for businesses, especially now, again, that we're back in person. And it's not just local Park City businesses that stand to benefit. Our ABC4's Sarah Murphy is out here live in Park City as well. Sarah.
That's right, Emily. Now, I'm here on Main Street, and we've shown you how it's kind of been filled with locals visiting and going shopping at some of the local businesses. And with this being the first in-person Sundance Film Festival in 3 years, renters and business owners say that right now business is booming. During the festival, Main Street is open with local shops, visiting vendors and companies. So some of these visiting businesses like Canada Goose will rent space on Main Street from local businesses like Park City Fine Art Gallery. Now, with more customers and business on the rise, finding a space, renters say, can be tricky and expensive.
Over the 20 years, not only has it gotten harder, but it has gotten a lot more expensive. So it has probably quadrupled in price, if not more.
And despite these rising prices, renters and owners say they view the festival as a way to work together by employing locals and bringing in more customers. Now, on top of the shopping, later on at 6, I'll show you what you, your family, and friends can do here at Sundance at night. Live in Park City, Sarah Murphy, ABC4 News, Utah.
All right, thank you so much, Sarah, Emily, and Alana. We will continue our live coverage with Emily and Alana at 6 o'clock as well. Now to other news, in particular, one winter sport that's growing in popularity and is firmly planting its feet in Utah's mountains in a big way. ABC4 Northern Utah correspondent Kate Gardner at Nordic Valley Resort in Eden with more on this wild sport that will dominate the slopes tomorrow.
Tomorrow, more than 40 riders will hit the slopes for a ski bike race, which is exactly like it sounds, a bike on skis.
Ski biking is a sport that takes skiing, snowboarding, and mountain biking and combines them into one. According to the American Ski Bike Association, the sport is still new enough that only about 1/3 of resorts across the country allow it. Many resorts in Utah already do, but Nordic Valley Ski Resort is taking it to the next level by hosting the Nordic Valley Ski Biker Cross and the development of a track dedicated to ski bikers.
I'm a little bit flamboyant. I like to look really cool. So I was like, hey, let me try one of those. And then after like 2 runs, I was ripping blue runs down the mountain.
Riders tell me they hope the sport will continue to grow in popularity and that it will become more mainstream. Reporting in Weir County, Kate Garner, ABC4 News.
Still ahead, agencies struggling to hire police officers in the state. What this means for the department in American Fork.